Hello everyone, this is Zooc, and today I'm bringing you a new drawing video. This one is going to be something really stupid that I thought of while sitting on the toilet. It's Goatman Simulator. So I was thinking of drawing a goat, seeing as Goat Simulator just came out. But it looked pretty boring to draw just a plain goat. So I thought I would draw a Goatman from Diablo 3, which is a character that's half man, half goat, and it's been present in all 3 Diablo games. And just make it included in a scene that resembles that of Goat Simulator, which is blowing shit up. It's what the game is about, really. So I have played Goat Simulator, and, you know, I realize there's a lot of hype about it, and I'm not trying to rustle anyone's jimmies, but to be honest, I think it's not a real game. Like, I got bored of it within 20 minutes. Sure, it was funny to, like, throw some people around and blow some shit up, but after less than half an hour, I got bored of it. And I'm not saying this just to play the same song as Total Biscuit does, but it's true. You know, that's how I feel about it. There's no shame in 2 people having the same opinion. So yeah, it's not to my liking. I can see why it would be fun to watch someone else play it and like make a big fuss out of it and woo, yeah, goat, haha, hoo. But if you were to take it as a real game, then yeah, I don't think there's much sense in playing it. But anyway, besides the point. So this is meant as an exercise for my digital skills, which are at a very low point right now, but I'm really starting to like it. I gotta admit, there's something wrong with my pen. It's drawing some weird lines a lot of times, so I think I might need to update the drivers or change the tip out. But I gotta say, I can see the potential of drawing on a tablet, and obviously it's a dumb thing to say, because if you watch anyone else do it, then you can obviously see the potential because they make amazing shit on it. But once you pick it up, once you pick up a pen and actually start doing it yourself, it's a completely different situation. And it's the same with a lot of gameplay videos or watching someone else do sports or anything like that. It looks easy. It looks easy because the person doing it is good at it. But if you do it, then yeah, that's a completely different scenario. You know, even for a gaming video, if you watch it, it's like, oh, you're such a retard, making so many mistakes. Like, if I played it, I wouldn't do that. And then you do play it, and you're even dumber at it than the guy that you were watching 5 minutes ago. So it does happen. So it's like something that you need to go through yourself. No amount of tutorials is gonna make you a good artist or draftsman. Like, you actually have to do it. I've watched thousands of hours of tutorials, and I retain very little consciously. Maybe unconsciously I retain a few things, but actually applying the concepts that I see is harder than it sounds. So I don't take any notes or anything. I watch them like I watch a movie. You know, I watch people drawing for entertainment and to see how good they are. And some are really amazing. You know, someone like Feng Zhu, for example, which is like one of my favorite people in the concept art industry. He's worked with the biggest names ever, from movies to games to everything. And he has this great ability to create something that looks finished without it actually being finished. You know, this is a great thing for a concept artist because, for example, those pictures you see on the Blizzard website that are pixel perfect, photorealistic finish, like just amazing shit. Those are illustrations, you know, those are something that you put on a book cover or hang on a poster. They're not concept art, you know, they take something that already exists and they paint it better than it was modeled or painted in the concept stages. So that's illustrating. The concept is coming up with the idea, you know, a fresh idea, a fresh environment, a new armor type, a new armor, you know. When you create something like that, then you don't sit there for 5 hours and paint one shoulder piece, because that doesn't work. Everything needs to be ready within an hour and a half or something like that. And most of Feng Zhu's stuff actually takes around an hour and a half. And he's able to just pump them out one after another with very little effort. Well, of course there's effort, but it looks like very little effort, which is what makes it fun to watch. You know, so if you zoom into like 600%, then you'll see that it's just a bunch of squiggly lines and it looks like shit. But if you zoom out to, let's say, 75 or 50%, then it looks like a really well-detailed, developed environment with characters, with everything, with perspective, spaceships flying around. It looks super detailed. And that's a great ability, being able to create something that looks like that without actually it being like that. It fools the eye into believing that you've created something finished. So nothing can ever really be finished. I mean, you can work on something for 5 years and not finish it, but at what point do you decide that it's finished? Some people will say, yeah, it needs a little bit of extra this and that. Other people will say it's too much of this and that. So, it's up to the person doing it to actually finalize it. So the way I did this picture was created from scratch because I wanted to test if I can actually do that, if I can actually create something digitally from scratch without sketching it on paper first. And it worked out pretty okay. I mean, sure, there's some minor perspective mistakes that will happen, and I don't really care about them. I just go over it. Like, it doesn't matter to me. Those will disappear in time because those don't really happen as much on paper, but they happen on a different medium, which is a screen that I'm drawing on. So I also included a picture in the background that I took from Google Images. This is something that Feng Zhu does a lot. He pastes in pictures and paints over them to create a detailed looking environment. And this is something that is pretty awesome as well. Being able to just see a texture in an image and not use the actual topic of the image. If you take like an industrial setting and you paint over it to create, a derelict house or something, that's really awesome. But yeah, the way I did it was just pasted a picture and painted over it, gave it some highlights, and just created the impression of a blowing car or a car blowing up in the night. That's kind of the idea of the whole thing, and it's illuminated. The goat is illuminated from the back. The tongue goes in the background. That's why it's faded out a bit. So I tried to apply some of the concepts that I've seen people use. The basics, like how to lighten things up if they're further away, stuff like that. You need to pay attention to that when you're at the beginning. People unconsciously do it when they're advanced, at an advanced level, but it's a completely different situation for me on paper compared to working in a solid color. So even if the color is gray, it's still a color, and I'm working with a paintbrush and not a pencil, not lines or hashing or anything like that. So yeah, another idea that I've been contemplating is creating an animated series, kind of like Simon's Cat or StarCraft's, something very simple, but, funny looking. So I've watched a few Flash tutorials trying to freshen up my knowledge. I did dabble in Flash when I was younger, but nothing really came of it because I had no opportunity to use it for anything. So I thought about creating something like, Little Zooc's Adventures in Romania. If you watch the Draw My Life video, you'll see that I drew myself as a kid, and that looks like a proper character, kind of like semi-depressed fat kid that just goes through all of these ridiculous adventures in Romania, like going to school and stepping in dog shit like 5 times on the way, or dealing with store owners. Now I just gotta flesh out the way I'm gonna make it, if I'm gonna use voice or just mumbling or no voice at all, and just try and illustrate everything through gestures and actions. But first I need to start working in Flash a bit and try and find the groove and how to combine different symbols and frames and whatnot and create a smooth looking animation. So that's something that I'm pondering for the future. People love cartoons, and I get it. I watch them as well. I love them too. So I think my life so far in Romania and everything that's happening right now, it's a good opportunity to create like short 1-minute episodes of just a ridiculous situation that has happened to me, because I tweet about this stuff a lot and it happens a lot, and it would be pretty cool to put it in a cartoon form for other people to see. So yeah, that's about it for now. I'm gonna leave you guys to it. I do hope you enjoyed it. Again, the drawing took 3 hours, and it's just a rough sketch. It's not finished, so, but it's finished for me. I mean, it's as much effort as I'm gonna put into it. So hopefully you don't dislike it too much. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.